All right, everyone. People are asking me in private messages on Facebook. This is typically how you get my attention, by the way, if you want me to cover something for some reason, about the protesters, which I don't understand that being who they're talking about. There are people who are protesting, who are walking in the street, letting their voice be heard, and doing this in a manner. And then there's morons who are like attacking people and burning buildings, and those what we call rioters, reprobates. People who are mouth breathers, probably not good for the world to even have. That being said, I'm an ENTP and don't give a crap. All right, this isn't my society. I didn't build it. This is SJ society. This is their fault. All right, and so, but who is out there burning shit and uh, you know robbing Target and all this kind of stuff? More than likely these are going to be SPs. Why do I say that? Okay, well, 90% of the people out there are male. Okay, most men are SPs. And so you can already jump to that conclusion pretty quickly. But why are SPs always being picked on when we're talking about these subjects of protesting or violence, or we're talking about rage and things like that? It's because rage is generally attributed to the SE ability, and SPs have high SE. This is about what's physical. This is about getting involved with what's physical, and let's get together in a group and let's be that manliness, and let's take care of this thing. Now, SPs are pragmatic, and so they only follow the rules when it benefits their interests. And so when the interest is no longer there, they no longer follow the rules, and that's when you see anarchy in the streets. Uh, and in this case, is what you're seeing. Okay, so what do they want to do? They like to take things physical. They like to get out there, break cars, and do stuff when they're ragey. Why are they ragey? Okay, well, what do they fear? You have to look at their demon and their trickster function. So you're talking ESTPs, ESFPs, they both have any demon. And so when you're talking about the demon function, this is what rages out of the person. And this is where they say, I want to end everyone else's future because my future has been ruined. And so if you're a black man, for instance, and of these two types, for instance, and you feel your future could be impeded for what you want to do because cops are killing you, you're going to be wanting to end everyone else's future, and you don't care necessarily about the right and wrong about the situation until it's fixed. I've talked about this in the past about any demon, about the daddy syndrome of nobody gets what they want until I get what I want. Okay. And so when dad is impeded from being able to do what he wants to do, the children lose their Wi-Fi. The children can't go here. They can't go see their friends, wife, or whatever, a husband. This could be an SP, she can't do what she wants to do until it happens this way, because I've been doing this, I've been providing for you guys, I've been following this systematic affiliative nonsense, and you guys promised me it would work, and now it's not working. Okay, people are dying. All right, people were murdered. All right, and so now I'm going to ruin everyone's future. Any trickster, a little bit different, because the trickster function is optimistic, but they don't necessarily know what they're doing. Okay. And so I can see many ISFPs thinking that if they go out there, get physical, get violent, get aggressive, the future could change for the better. But they can't necessarily figure this out on their own. And so the ISTPs and the ISFPs can really get messed up with this, and they can think, oh, this is going to work, but in reality, it's not going to. Because in the end, when you're dealing with this kind of stuff, because SPs are not systematic, this was chaotic, this was emotional, this was random. Okay, now you can argue Soros funded people came in from out of town and caused a lot of problems, and that's a different argument altogether. But those people are, again, SPs anyways, because they see an interest, and a lot of them could be ISFPs for that matter. They could join those radical leftist groups to do this on a regular basis because they're trying to provide a future that they want, but they don't really know how to come about it. Okay, so does this mean that everyone there are SPs? No. Loyal SJs to their SPs, friends, family, perhaps may follow along with this and be out there too. I doubt the least amount of people out there are going to be MTs. We don't necessarily get along with this because we're not part of the world anyways. And we don't see ourselves as this our fight. We see ways to see the system and how it's going to fail, possibly ways to exploit it for our own interest because these people have discarded and disrespected us our whole life and don't really want us in their fold anyway, so we don't care. NS. A lot of people like to attribute NS to violent protesting, and I don't know where this comes from because it's not the way it are. This is hippie trippy people who are like, peace, love, bro. Let's all live together in a community and everyone get along. John Lennon. Do you think John Lennon about their lighting cars on fire? No, he's an INFP. That's not the case. However, when it comes to younger people, ENTPs, myself included, and ENFPs could be down here watching this because we find it funny. Yes, when I was younger, I would be down there watching it and laughing. The ending of the Joker movie where he's laughing at the car. Joker in that movie is an ENFP or an INFP, depending on what scene and what Joaquin Phoenix did, because he swapped around a little bit. Actors never play their types completely right. At the very end, you see him looking out the window going, because why? Our demon is SE. We love to see the physical world burn. It's so funny, okay? And so, yes, I didn't create this world. I'm watching all these morons burn it down, something they created with their own hands, and now they're burning it, okay? I will be just fine, okay? When people say, oh, you're from Napa, such a wonderful place, it would not bother me one bit if Napa lit on fire. It almost did in that one fire. I don't care. I don't have physical attachments to things, okay? That's an SC thing, be physically attached to things. I don't keep trinkets around. I don't keep photos around and hold it close to me and say, oh, this means so much to me. I don't have any stuff. Ask any of my close friends. I have like 2 suitcases when I live out here. When I decorated my room as a high school kid, I literally had nothing on my walls. My friends made fun of me. I don't decorate. Okay, it's SE. Anyways, ENFPs, however, are affiliative and they do want to see a better world. Okay, they also are not systematic, and so this chaos can be attractive to them because they might feel it might be better for the future. However, how do you tell the ENFPs away from the SPs burning crap and things like that? They're the cops taking photos and watching from a distance in the shadows and sneaking around. That's what SE Demon does. We're not confrontational, okay? That's not with physically wanting to get involved. They don't do things physically. We anticipate and we look around to see what we can get away with, okay? This includes ENFPs for that matter. So they may feel strongly and say this is justified. And in some ways I do too. Obviously, something needs to happen. However, because of what's going on, you guys are falling in another SJ trap because remember, they still have the winning card because A, they're the majority and majority usually wins. Okay, all that's going to happen is you're going to lose more freedom as SPs because there's going to be a curfew in place in major cities. This is why I don't live in major cities. I'm pragmatic too. I don't want to be governed by the government. I don't want people meddling in my affairs. If this crap happens in downtown Austin, I'm on the outskirts. It's not going to affect me. All right, I don't care. And so these kind of things, I don't live downtown in the middle of all this bullshit for a reason. Okay, and so A, you're probably going to lose a lot of businesses from downtown if this is going to happen like this. I wouldn't open a business downtown now if this is going to be a regular thing every time a cop kills people. Guess what? Cops are going to keep on killing people. That's what they do, okay? Not necessarily on purpose. I am I am systematic, and so I believe in a legal structure. But, I'm thinking more as a libertarian of cops being like, I can't think of his name, that really skinny cop who was goofy and with the taller, handsome guy, like the little town cops, I forgot their name. I don't know. Maybe you can mention in the comments below. That's the way cops should be. This militarized police force, with now we have militarized robots roaming the streets. I remember it was so funny when there was that shooter in Dallas and the robot literally killed him and nobody said anything. And there's a robot running around. Okay, now you got tanks, you got armored police, you got military weapons, and everyone's like this is a good thing. Whenever you give somebody something, they're going to find reasons to use it, okay? Because otherwise it would be a lost cause and they'll lose funding. They don't want to do that. This is how bureaucracies run. Okay, everything's about funding and pandering for more funding, okay? And so you have to keep making up stuff to get more money. Otherwise, you lose value. And the government says, okay, we can get rid of you. Okay, but they got to keep proving their worth. They got to keep pandering. And that's how that works like that. Now, further on, there's SPs that obviously don't do this kind of stuff. The other protests against coronavirus or whatever that was, when they were down there peacefully protesting, they were older SPs. They have families, they got kids they're worried about, they got a job they lost. These are all kind of things. We're talking about 19, 18-year-olds, 20-year-olds, people probably didn't have good upbringing at that. Clearly they're caught on camera in Target stealing stuff on camera. They're not worried about what their mother's going to see. They don't worry about bringing shame to their mom or their dad or their family and things like that. More than likely, they come from dysfunction, and this is just a side effect of that itself. And so, yeah, do you need to watch this and think, oh, SPs are violent, things like that? No, they're not. I have plenty of SP friends. I love SPs. I have sex with SPs. I love SPs. That's great. That's not the case. But when people ask me these questions, I just got to go with the truth. And the reason why is any demon wants to ruin everyone else's future until they get what they want. Their futures are impeded in their mind because people are dying. And so they're a person of color, for instance, they may feel unsafe in pursuing and going out in the public. And so, hey, this needs to stop. Everyone else's futures are ruined. So I'm going to block freeways. I'm going to burn buildings. I'm going to do this kind of stuff right here until I get what I want. And my future is safe and secure. Any trickster may optimistically think that this is a good thing and this is going to cause good results, even though more likely will not. This is when bad any comes into play and where it can come into some issues like that. So that's my thoughts on that, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video.